was the last time you saw something on the internet and thought you could not have tortured that information out of me? Because I feel like that's every other post I see now. Hey y'all, Snarky J Cosplay here. From TikTokers crying into their cameras, family bloggers sharing too much against their kids' personal safety and privacy, meltdowns on
Yeah, who cares, right? The government takes care of my kids to me, so I don't need to care.
live stream, private relationship drama made public. It feels like somewhere along the lines when we developed our relationship with Instagram and social media, we lost our relationship with a very interesting and important human quality since the days of Adam and Eve, and that is shame. Somewhere along the line, we forgot how to be embarrassed, and that has made for a really, really interesting society that we now live in. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jay, your hair looks amazing today. Thank you so much. I'm kidding. You might be thinking, well, shame, I mean, should we really have shame? Is shame that important a thing? If I say shame enough times, will you envision me ringing that bell like in Game of Thrones?
I actually forgot about that, but now that she shows, I remember it.
Modern society and culture treats shame.
When I listen to shame, I don't. The thing I remember always is the saying like shame on all of your ancestors. It's from a Chinese or Japanese meme I saw like long time ago and I never forgot.
As a purely inherently negative thing. We can't equate it just to the fact that we learned shame and put leaves on the fun parts of our bodies and then we got cursed with a bunch of other shit and kicked out of paradise, right? Shame is kind of an important thing to have. It's one of those, you hate to have it, but you need to have it type things. Shame historically has served a purpose, and I'm not talking about toxic shame and people being shamed about, their individuality and a number of other things that are just basic human concepts that should be respected. I'm not condoning abuse, I'm not condoning humiliation, but what I mean is the value of shame as the basic social instinct that says, maybe I shouldn't do this. Like not screaming at strangers, not airing out personal family issues on the internet, not making every thought public, not turning every personal moment into performance art. You might look at me and think, there's no way this has any shame. And I really don't have much less, but there is still a certain
I really don't have much less. Very good.
certain amount, and I'll admit this, I had tickets to an Avatar concert and my plans were to go in cosplay. So I was gonna paint myself blue. And then I
No fucking way.
thought, too weird, don't do it, don't do it. It's not the time, it's not the place. It's like
No. Okay, thank God you didn't, but the fact that you thought about doing? No. Just no.
like when you try to pull your bicycle out in the middle of the Pokemart in a Pokemon game and they're like, there's a time and place for everything, but not now. That's kind of how I felt, because shame kicked in. Shame acted as a guardrail for me there, and historically, that's what it's always been. But the internet has destroyed barriers in a number of ways. See, back in the day, in the days before the internet and social media, when dinosaurs walked the earth and Pepperidge Farm was still relevant, most embarrassing things that could happen to a person, they died locally. You could embarrass yourself in your life in a big way, and friends could see it, family might see it, coworkers might see it, but that was it. Now, in the time of social media, there is a potential for an audience. It could be thousands, it could be millions, it could be an entire world. Coincidentally, the larger the audience became, the less private people became. When you look at Facebook, when you look at YouTube, Twitter/X, Instagram, TikTok. The internet did not create attention seeking. Let's get that straight. I've gone to school with hundreds of attention seekers, so attention seeking has always been a thing, but the internet industrialized it. I would argue that we learned humiliation sells way before social media, though. I think reality TV taught us that. Reality competition shows, like the
Not only I have shame, I also have survival instinct. That's why I'm VTuber.
Biggest Loser, for instance, The Jersey Shore, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. For decades, since the inception of reality TV, audiences have been conditioned and have learned chaos equals entertainment. The more personal, the more dramatic, the more humiliating, the better. Reality TV essentially normalized turning private dysfunction into public content. Every time I think about the fact that TLC, that channel, once stood for The Learning Channel, but now everything is, I've got a weird bump, watch somebody squeeze
What the oh, who you?
it out of my head while I explain exceedingly personal reasons why this bump has affected me. My 600-pound life, where we get more footage of nude people than I've ever wanted
God.
to see, and we watch them struggle. That's basically the entirety of the channel, 90 Day Fiance, where it's just a bunch of drama of like the worst people you've ever met, and yet it's all publicized. And they've made the entire
What?
channel centered around that type of content. Influencer culture basically capitalized on that and made shame a business model. And that's because we have a real incentive problem. Algorithms don't reward dignity, they
I feel great that I didn't watch it any of those that she showed.
reward attention, and attention rewards extreme.
But I probably watched something related to that. Any other, of that stuff. I think no one's safe from that anymore.
Breakup videos, cheating scandals, crying thumbnails, family vlog disasters, public apologies, live stream begging, and of course, recording strangers for content.
Yep.
The more outrageous the behavior, the more views you get. And the more views you get, the more money you earn. For the first time in history, embarrassing yourself
The thing is, not always you get a lot of viewers. I think this is the worst on TikTok. A lot of people actually like do very, very like repentful stuff there, very idiot stuff there, and gain literally nothing doing so. Oh, I got 1 million or 10 million views in my shorts on TikTok. And how much did you got with that? What the fuck? Like, why? What was that worth? To make something idiot, like retarded, to TikTok? Like, like, it's not worth.
yourself has become a career path. Many people are eager to follow it. And it's weird because it feels like there's an inherent lack of privacy in people's lives because it's easier to monetize everything. Every moment has now become public because they want to monetize things. Before, you could book a vacation with your significant other and you just go. But now you create vacation content. Here's us booking this thing. Here's us packing our bags. What did we pack in these bags? Here's us at the airport. Here's us in the flight lounge. Here's us on the plane. Now we got there. Here's what we're doing for dinner tonight. Here's this pool. It's content. Before, people got engaged and then they got married. And now they make engagement content and marriage content and they have to vlog everything and turn their page into a whole thing about their marriage and their engagement as if anybody really gives a shit. And apparently they do because most of these people succeed. Before, people would privately experience grief. And now
No, again, it's not the majority.
grief content is an entire other hashtag on Instagram.
Yeah, that's a problem by itself. Like, no one realized that it's the minority that actually gets this proportion. Most people actually shame themselves on the internet for actually nothing. No views, no money, no fame, nothing.
I'm guilty of this one. Before, people had hobbies. I had hobbies. I made costumes. And now, people have personal brands. Hi y'all, Snarky J Cosplay here. That didn't exist when I was 17 and just building costumes. And it ties into that main character syndrome thing, right? Everybody's the main character of their own story and therefore they think they're the main character for everybody else's story, and if they're not, there should be. It's constant documentation, it's curated fake lifestyles, fake profiles, and it's people that are doing nothing but performing and living for the camera. The internet has basically blurred the line between living life and presenting life. I'd argue it's not always terrible. I think that there's this new phenomenon that I'm almost thinking is like public therapy. People now increasingly process trauma, relationships, family issues, mental health struggles in front of massive audiences. On the one hand, it's bringing to life a lot of discussions about mental health, for instance, which in my opinion are incredibly important. But on the other hand, is every emotional experience intended for public consumption? We've moved into a time where now nobody keeps anything in. Everybody's looking to trauma dump, they want to overshare. They're looking for parasocial validation, often from people who really shouldn't be giving it, because now they treat strangers like therapists, when really some strangers would do better to just shut up, and the people listening would do better to just turn the computer off. Now the question remains, right? Because my whole thing with this video is that
And by the way, you can have serious problem by sharing all of that with some strangers online. It's always important to remind
that people have no shame, and shame has disappeared. But if shame has disappeared from society, if we no longer believe in shame, then why are we so irritated by influencers in the wild? People are getting incredibly fatigued with influencers. They walk in the way of their cameras on purpose. They mock influencers at the gym, for instance. There's all sorts of discourse surrounding authenticity now, and a lot of influencers are getting told you need to go outside and touch grass because you're being ridiculous. Performative behavior these days isn't really being celebrated anymore. It's being outright mocked. People are just getting sick of it. They are increasingly recognizing how staged a lot of shit feels, how everything feels monetized, everything feels fake. The audience is no longer entertained and is now beginning to resent.
It's like I was talking the last video from the president Nozaki. The market is shifting to authenticity now. As it should be. I don't think that's wrong. It's very, very good, actually. I think it's kind of late, though. People took a lot of time to open their eyes and stop to be so superficial. So more and more people are looking for authenticity now, or are looking for people that are actually what they preach, what they are, And I mean, and authenticity by itself, even though it's a good thing, because it's linked through honesty somehow, but it doesn't mean that every authentic person is actually good. It's just like the person that is actually living to the values that they preach and the things that they say online. But it doesn't mean doesn't actually mean that they are good things.
Constant performance. Look, maybe shame existed for a reason. I'm not saying we have to go back to the 50s. I know
I don't feel like that's anyhow.
would not do well in the 1950s, so quite frankly, I have no intentions of us going back to that time in society. I especially don't think that people should be afraid to express themselves. I think the more oppressive society is in keeping people bottled up and people being afraid to exercise self-expression, it just creates a sort of miserable society, and I don't think that that's the key either. But I would argue that shame wasn't just a form of oppression. I would say it's actually been kind of a signal. A signal that some things were private. Some things don't need an audience. Some things don't need monetization, and some things really don't need to become content. The internet might have promised us a world where nobody had to be embarrassed anymore, but after almost 20 years of watching people broadcast every single filthy moment of their lives, maybe the real question isn't whether or not shame disappeared. Maybe it's whether we got rid of too much of it. And that's all from me. I've been Snarky J. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more Snarky J, be sure to check me out on Instagram. And if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and cosplay content. I'll add links to all of those in the description.
Oh, so does she cosplay? Or does she have a company that work with cosplayers? I don't understand, but whatever. I didn't even knew that she cosplayed at all. I mean, I think it's the first video of this channel that I watched. I think it was Kryptoner Jedi that suggested this video. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, yeah, maybe I need to watch more of her videos. I'm still not sure. But she's a good content creator. I'm sorry that I'm so much static with content creators nowadays. Just want to remind you guys to join our Discord server so you guys be aware when I do live streams. And you also would be a part of the amazing Foxlings community. you can also be part, watch like watch parties and movie nights and also and gaming nights as well. You probably gonna make some incredible friends there. So check that out. And yeah, I mean, we just, it's like I said earlier, like we just have amazing people there because those do not behave get the banhammer. So yeah, that's it. Let's go to the next one. Before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank all of you, my patrons, for the incredible support to my work here on YouTube, and especially my 5-Tail Fox Tier member, the Holy Ball, and to all of my 3-Tail Fox Tier members, Wallony Wolf, Fanny Sylvie, Eat Himself, Sheila Not Serious, Eustace the Useful, Zealous Isaiah, Ala Rosas, Max Tenor, Nugutino, Avery, Halcyonic Eder, and TV8. Thank you very, very much. You guys are amazing. Also, thanks to everyone that have been supporting me on Ko-Fi, Kick, and to all of my YouTube members. You can support this channel life and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon. Link is in the description below. And that's it for today, my dear Foxlings. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.